There's only one thing to do.
Drop it. Yeah.
Hello, this is RobotnikIsSexy, and this is actually a Wi-Fi battle on my channel, right guys? I mean, what do I do, like one a month? It's what it feels like. But anyway, I just had a really crushing defeat in NU on Pokemon Showdown, and it was all my fault. It was one of those matches where, like, there was no hacks at all, and it all came down to decisions. Bad life choices, like, I don't know, bad moves that I do that muck up everything for me, but the match was really good. It was 1-0, and I'll bring it to you guys at some point. And then, directly after that, Shadowarty, which is this guy's team, he popped up on Skype, and he wanted a battle. I'm like, okay, Showdown, sure, I'm in the NU gear, because, you know, I just had a match, and he's like, no, Wi-Fi, and I'm like, oh, you still play Wi-Fi? Very interesting. So I cracked open my my DSi XL, which has like cobwebs on it, and had a match, and what a match it was. The team preview, Shadowarty's team, scared the shit out of me. I mean, it looks like he's bringing very serious NU Pokemon, and here I am with, like, I don't know, Relicanth and Ursaring, and I don't know. My Pokemon are good. Don't get me wrong, these guys are good. Don't feel bad, you guys. Like, especially Meganium. Meganium has just been jacking people up, so... Actually, the reason I wanted to use this team at all is because the last battle I had on Wi-Fi with Better Than Smeg, I used Meganium, and he absolutely rocked the house, so I wanted to use him again. So this is basically my PU team, except I swapped out Beedrill for Garbodor because I wanted some Spikes action. But of course he's got that grounded poison type like every NU team does to prevent the toxic spikes, because if you don't have anything to absorb toxic spikes, then I will toxic stall you. Simple as that. But anyway, I do digress. Let's get into the match. Let's go. Let's go. I think it's a pretty short match, so you know, just recording like this should be alright. I'm gonna lead with Gaylord the Waylord with his pressure ability. He's pushing the pressure. He's a giant penis, and he's gonna lead with the Electros, and that is no good. That's just simply no good. He could have gone for Flamethrower here. That would have been really bad, but he opts to go for the Volt Switch, which is also good. Gives him switch advantage, because, you know, the switch into a different Pokemon is so painfully obvious. But my hand was forced. I picked the wrong lead, and that's just bad. But he's gonna go for Trick here. I thought, you know, if he wants to go for Sludge Wave, I can probably take it, because this guy is awesome. I can probably take it and Leech Seed stall him for like a turn, and you know, get my health back to half or something, and, you know, call it good. But he tricks me, and now I feel completely defeated. By turn 3, I feel completely shut down and defeated. So, in the Skype chat, I was kind of being a whiny bitch. I'm like, well, the game is over, blah blah blah. I was being really pessimistic, but anyway, the match goes on. It obviously is now 4 turns long. I'm going to switch into Ursaring as he Shadow Balls, and because he tricked away his choice Scarf, I know that I'll outspeed the guy, so I just crunch him, and honestly, keeping his Haunter scarfed might have served him a lot better. Because it could have come in to revenge kill things. And Mr. Barely comes in, or not Mr. Barely, Sawk. Sawk, the fighting robot, comes in, and now I have to scout this guy, and I have the perfect scouting fodder in the form of Choice Meganium, who's virtually worthless. And I know he's gonna go into Exeggutor, but I Leech Seed anyway, and I'm like, shit, this is going very poorly. But I do have a kind of plan B, maybe it's a plan C, it's a pretty bad plan. The plan is going to Garbodor, holy crap, go into Garbodor and land a gunk shot, which I do. Had I missed the gunk shot, the game, it would have just been over. Like, landing that gunk shot was my only hope, and I do, so good job, Eric, you are lucky Garbodor. And now I know that he's definitely going to attack me, and yeah. Now I can go for that explosion, which, thanks to his Haunter being, you know, fainted so early in the match, I can hit anything with it. So, yeah, this is max attack Jolly Garbodor, so he has a lot of attack investment, and Skuntank comes in and takes it, almost takes him out. It does an impressive amount of damage, I gotta say. Did not expect it to do that much. But I'm going to go into Throw here, and I knew it was the best thing to combat the Skuntank because I didn't want anything to take a Sucker Punch. And I'm just going to have to leave Ernie in here, and, you know, at this point I was feeling very pessimistic. I was like, well, Ernie is kind of death fodder because Exeggutor is going to come in, he's probably going to Psychic. And then I can go into Ursaring again and threaten him, but instead he goes into this guy, which honestly is kind of a misplay on Shadowarty's part. Because, you know, he could have just blown my face off with Psychic, but instead he gives me an opportunity to rest up, and I guess he doesn't fear Throh. Throh is a very good Pokemon with Rest and Sleep Talk because you get the Guts boost while you're sleeping, and Rest always keeps you asleep for 2 turns, or it usually does. It does for this match, spoilers, but, you know, I feel like in every generation you wake up after 2 turns after using Rest, and it's pretty predictable, so I can actually work around that. And on the 3rd turn I can just, instead of going for Sleep Talk, go for an attack, and things are fantastic. So I've got my Guts power. This Throw is actually Adamant max attack and HP, so yeah, that's as hard as Throw can hit. He can't really hit that hard, but his special attack, oh, not his special attack, his attack is pretty high. And now I'm thinking, please, please, please pull out that Ice Punch. Please, 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 I get the rest. I get shafted. But it's okay, because Ernie is, you know, I'll go back to plan A, which is, you know, being a death fodder if he wants to Psychic me. And I know I'm going to wake up this turn, so, you know, you can sub if you want, but I'm going to force you to kill me because I don't want you to have a substitute. And at this point, though, I'm getting a lot of leftovers health, so I'm thinking maybe I can actually survive this. I don't know. So I'm gonna go for the Ice Punch again, as strangely he switches into a Sawk. I'm not really sure how well I could have taken the Psychic. I mean, you know, that is definitely a citrus berry harvest Exeggutor, so he probably doesn't have any special attack investment, so I probably could have taken it and used Ice Punch, so fair enough to him for going to what seems to be a choice banded Sawk, but Throh can take it, and now it's Sawk versus Throh, the battle of the century. Battle of the century, Sawk versus Throh. Who just the heavy, it's a cage match, they're wrestlers, one has issues with the other and they have to fight, and it's Ernie versus Bert, it's Bert versus Ernie, it's Sesame Street Showdown. Yeah, I'm gonna go for that Ice Punch with that Guts power, and it does a lot, and yeah, that's perfectly good. Ernie is going to tear through 2 perfectly good Pokemon. Had some help with the explosion damage, of course, but I took down Skuntank, and I'm just about to take down this Sawk, so Throh has done his day of work. He can clock out, go home, and watch TV. He's done. Like, he just killed 2 Pokemon, and I was using him as death fodder, so that is good. That is insanely good, so I'm thinking, I'm getting kind of overconfident now. I'm like, hey, I can probably live this Volt Switch and rest up again, but he is definitely choice specs Electros, so he's just going to kill me off, which is fine. And then he's going to go into Exeggutor, and that's exactly what I want to see. And this part is absolutely beautiful because his Exeggutor hasn't taken enough damage to use the Harvest ability. So he's just stalling for poison damage, or stalling for time, stalling for no reason at all, because he's not going to get that berry. He's not hurt enough, and that means I can crunch whatever I want. The crunch does a nice amount of damage, and it does crit him, which means I could have just used 2 crunches, so the crit probably really didn't matter. It's, you know, a big pile of salt on the wound, really. So now battery comes in. I know this is my chance to get off of Facade. I know that it won't kill Electros, because Electros is a very bulky Pokemon. It's very good. I mean, if it had a speed stat that was higher than 50 or however fast it is, then it would definitely not be never used. It's a very cool Pokemon, so yeah, I know that he's gonna live. He does live, and he kills me off, which is fine. Now I get to promote Gaylord the Waylord and lock myself into that Choice Scarf Ice Beam, and then I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute, what if Harvest Executor can survive this Ice Beam? So it comes down to this, can it kill? The Executor goes down, 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 and it does kill. Had it not killed, he would have gotten his Harvest, and I don't know what he would have done, like use Giga Drain, or, I mean, I was in a good spot either way, because, you know, he can't sub forever, and I would have just barraged him with Ice Beams, but that was that match. Surprisingly good match for me, after a less than stellar experience on Showdown, but, yeah. That's the match. Hopefully more Wi-Fi battles are coming up. I should probably look for some instead of waiting for people to challenge me. Yeah, that's kind of been the way, because I keep having these matches that are really good and then they DC, and it's like, why do I even play this game? So I just play Showdown. So that's that. But if you enjoyed the match as much as I did, comment and like it and stuff. And yeah. I will see you later, YouTube.